booted out of here.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo.
The eyes open.
Scan complete.
Constellation.
You are cleared to land at New Atlantis. Please enjoy your visit to Jemison.
My attention's glue is on the station monitors. Check with the others. Be doing the checks and marks on the repairs from here. Got a few sites around the station where the others are already doing...
Lend a hand? Grab a couple of wrenches and let's tighten this equipment down. Just grab a wrench. Should be quick. Well, I'm certain that wasn't supposed to happen. Check with Vladimir?
You color the wrong wires. Station showing red. Bad. Nastier than I measured. Figured a few of the parts might be iffy, but this is going to take more than a span.
Oh, I should have checked the compatibility when we made the order. I can stay with you until we get all this fixed.
No need for the martyr's clothes, but I'm happy to have the help. As for you, while we're giving the eye the swords, need to tip your ear on another matter when you got the time.
I shall resume my normal duties.
Don't want to worry anyone, but we auction, not Starborn. Rival Captain Petrov owns a salvager vessel called the Scow. Runs it like a palace of novelties, and he's got a new prize in collection. The Scavenger hires every gun and knife willing to chop relics out of their owner's hands for pay. Scrapes out any derelict ships his mosquitoes can find. Reached out through my hand-to-hands to see if we can do an honest swap. He says the rock ain't for sale for any price. Think we're gonna need a crowbar and bag for this one. He's got a reputation for seeing the gold in things, but he's no lab coat. Thinking he knows it's unique, but not why. All the more reason to clutch tightly. Left the life of a Jacobons behind myself. I know what I'm asking. But I see a clutch prize not up for the prying any other way. Not sending you lone hook on the job. I want Andreja with you on this one. You two will be foot to foot the whole way. So make sure you're ready. As we always say, each member of Constellation is their own conscience. I'll leave the details of the doing to you. Catch a smile out there. Oh, sorry. Was doing the tallies work in my head. Inventory on the station, next supply run. You've tipped my ear. Find myself thinking of the fleet. You know you can take a mark, you don't open comms. It's all storm and fire and sifting the wreckage after it's over. But if you're not so sure, you play the bully's gambit. Hope they don't challenge the threats you throw at them. Sound familiar? Maybe. All the worse for us, not knowing their intent. A striker lurking in the shadows has good reason to hide. Won't be easy to drag them into the light. Jaw the words another time then.
Eager to help, if I can. Until our next talk.
Don't worry, we'll help Vladimir. You get out there and find another artifact.
Dad and I will help Vladimir. Don't you worry.
talk later. Need to help out Vladimir.
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Do not like the cold. Stiffens the joints, lowers reaction times.
Walter is quite proud of what his company has accomplished, and for good reason.
If I were Tile, I'd be very concerned about the extra output models.
But your average consumer does stand. I'm all for new technologies, but your average consumer doesn't need it. Sort of maneuvering capability. And Mike is saying there are technical reasons your design won't work. Oh, this must be Walter's consultant friend. Please, come join us. We've been waiting for you. Hello. Hi there. You must be Walter's colleague. He informed me that you'd be taking charge of Project Kepler despite the fact that we have a fully dedicated R&D staff already assigned to it. But that's okay. I'm sure that even though you have virtually no experience with this, you'll do a great job. Oh, I just assumed. You know what? I'm really sorry. I should trust Walter knew what he was doing. My bad.
Even so, we have plenty of designers.
As you probably know, we're tasked with coming up with Stroud Eklund's next hit starship. But we have budget concerns, market research to finish, and we can't seem to agree on a design. So I guess Walter sent you to resolve these issues. Have at it. Sure, I'm Jules, R&D project lead. was the one making all the big decisions. I suppose I just coordinate now. You already heard from Frank. He's lead designer on the project, focused on the look and feel of the ships. There's Ella, another senior designer. She focuses on some of the more technical designs of ships. Went to school with Frank. Mike is our senior engineer, responsible for consulting on all the technical bits, the machinery, the computer systems, etc. And then there's Nev. She's here for marketing. It's her job to weigh in and sell this thing to consumers. Okay, good. So, before we can do anything, we need to resolve the budget issue. We were charged with building the newest, hottest ship on the market, which won't be possible unless we petition the board for more money. So we have 2 new budget proposals. One will allow us to build what I consider to be a very sensible ship, but we'll have to make some tough design cuts. The other will allow us much more flexibility to put whatever we want into the ship. It's what I call the kitchen sink proposal. I don't love it, but it'll be next to impossible to approve. What should we go with? I'd love to, seriously. It would be a huge win for us if we came in under or at that budget. But none of the viable designs for this project can be made for that amount. I've already rejected that budget, so I have to go to the board regardless. And since you're now responsible for the major decisions, which budget proposal we go with falls on you. It's more that we can only choose certain design elements at the expense of others. In other words, if we go with something in Mike's design, there's not enough money in the budget for what Ella wants. That's one of the reasons we haven't been able to agree on anything. While it's true we'd be able to afford to put anything and everything into that design, it's just not practical, and the board will put more pressure on us to see that it succeeds. I worry that without constraints, my team will be disincentivized to focus this ship in any given direction. And they'll try to cram in everything but the kitchen sink, hence the name. Who knows what kind of monstrosity we'd create if we tried to incorporate all of our designs? And would something that expensive actually sell? That sounds good to me, but remember, this ship will have fewer bells and whistles. We're not going to be able to include everything we want. Frank's luxury design has the most expensive components, and we've been having trouble convincing him to move away from that idea so we can stay within the budget. We need his help. Do you think you can get him to budge?
I am right here, you know. I already gave my answer to Jules. We cut nothing. It might be a good challenge, actually. And if I impress them, they'll be willing to give me more to work with next time. Fine. I see what you're saying. Perhaps we tone down the luxury aspects a bit. Does it really need so much gold trim? Probably not.
For what it is worth, I believe that is the correct approach. Luxury should not be the goal here. Also, Frank annoys me.
Great! That's one problem solved. I'll go forward with that budget proposal and we can move on. Next, we need to gather some market data. The best way to do this is to outfit your ship with some sensors and take it through some real-world scenarios so we can make more informed design decisions. Well, Mr. Stroud believes you fit in our target demographic. We heard about some of your adventures, and we tend to agree that getting data from someone like you will be helpful. Frankly, most of our test pilots played a little too safe, and the scenarios we run don't push the limits as much as we can get away with legally. But luckily, we don't have those same concerns with you, because you're not technically employed by us, and Walter trusts you. Great! Just pick up a mission or two at the mission board and proceed like you normally would. We'll collect the data when you return. If you take on a variety of missions, we can build a ship to handle a variety of scenarios. But if you just fly one mission, we can build a more focused ship. It's up to you. In the meantime, you might also want to talk with the team, get to know them, give feedback on their proposals, etc. Good luck out there.
I'm wondering if we need another chef in the kitchen. Then again, I hear Walter brought you in to finally make a decision around here. Well, how do I put this? My co-workers are smart people. But between you and me, they're in way over their head with this project. Jules especially. She's new at being a project lead and has insisted we design by committee, so everyone's voice is heard. Admirable. But no one could agree on anything, and we're running significantly behind because of it. Good. Just so long as you don't push us to make anything too nutty. I think your decisiveness will put us back on the right track. Speaking of which, I think my plan will get us where we need to be as quickly and efficiently as possible. It's simple, no frills, and most importantly, won't cause me any major headaches on the engineering side. Let me tell you, all the creative minds around here are so concerned with designing the most innovative and fancy ships possible. They never stop to think about the kind of work it takes to do that in a reasonable time frame. Yes, we're engineers. Our job is to make the bloody impossible possible. But that doesn't mean it's easy or practical. That and there's never enough of us to go around. Couldn't figure it out from the engineering talk? I'm an engineer, mate. It means I'm the one who's got to put together all these plans and actually make the bloody ship fly. Been doing it for going on 25 years at various star yards. They still haven't realized this place would fall apart if not for me. Instead of letting me get to my work, they keep giving me fancy new titles and got me tied up in endless meetings like this one. It's truth, and we need it. The others believe we need to think big and innovate. Reality is, we just need to do what we do better than anyone else. So I'm thinking, there's loads of fighters, no sense in mucking about with that again. And we've already got one of the best luxury liners in the biz. What I figure is, the cargo running business is booming, And no one's quite built a personal craft like that to serve the working class folk. Nothing fancy, no frills. Just a simple, sturdy, inexpensive ship with cargo room up the wazoo and make it so easy my cousin's little moppet could fly it. Our objective should be to build a huge ship with plenty of cargo room while keeping the costs low. Doesn't need fancy equipment, just the basics. Basic weapons, basic defenses, basic scanners. You get the idea. If we go with a design like that, I can focus on quality construction and the ship will practically sell itself. Wait, really? I was expecting we'd have to argue a bit more than that. Well, that's a relief. I hope you're being sincere. Because if I can convince them to go with mine, it'd save us all a lot of trouble in the end. I assume you mean the company and not the people. Because even if I didn't already think so, I'd tell you that both Walter and Issa are great. The company's still kind of young as far as Star Yards go, but it seems to be going in the right direction, despite what it may look like. I've been doing this for a while at other Star Yards, and so far, we're avoiding a lot of the mistakes some of the older corps have made.
Still to go from literally nothing to ships that give Tayo a run for its money?
Have you seen the specs on the Adonis?
No, not really. I like to think I don't have the ego for it. I've got nothing to prove, and I don't rightly care to make my mark on the industry. But all I want to do is build the best damn starships I can, not get bogged down with all the excess particulars. But upper management loves the work I do, and they wouldn't let me say no to this. I guess they needed someone to keep everyone's heads out of the clouds, so here I am. Right. Take care.
I'm actually kind of amazed we
So, you're Walter's friend.
It's relatively painless.
I know he chose you to head this project as some sort of favor. Honestly, as senior technical designer, I was hoping to receive that honor, but there's always next time. Regardless, I'm excited to help you out. Do you have any experience building spaceships? This is wonderful to hear. I hope for all of our sakes that you are not overselling your ability. Now, I know you've been asked to give feedback on our design proposals. Would you care for a brief synopsis of mine? I'm the most senior designer on this project, for one. Despite all the acclaim he gets, I actually referred Frank to his current design position. He and I were in the same design program when we went to get our degrees back in uni. We support each other as friends as much as possible. Even when we disagree. I love my job here. But I dream one day of working for a small startup or running my own design firm so I can work on custom ships instead of mass-produced products. Of course. But first, let me ask you this. What pilot demographic is currently being underserved by the current starship market? Well, you're no fun. My idea is a little less conventional. I believe we should invest in making a dedicated exploration ship, marketed toward citizen scientists. Sure, we and other manufacturers have lines of exploration ships, but none built with the average consumer in mind. It's my hope that we can jumpstart a new era of affordable, accessible space exploration, fueled by ordinary people like you and me. I'd start with a small ship profile. It won't need much storage or passenger capacity. Then, of course, you would want an advanced grav drive to reach deep space and plenty of energy for extended flights. In order to keep costs down, it likely doesn't need expensive weapon systems or defensive measures. It won't need those where it's going. And of course, high-end scanners and other scientific equipment is a must. Yeah, that's what Jules said too. But at least that gives me something to think about. Thanks. I'll refine the idea and propose it next time, I guess. Why Why do I feel like answering this could be a trap coming from someone who was sent here by Walter to step in and take over our project? It's not like I have anything to hide. I used to think working for a super wealthy corporation would be terrible, but honestly, it's pretty great. They've been good to me, and the stability is way better than any startup. I've had opportunities I wouldn't have anywhere else, so yeah, pretty great. Well, as a senior designer, I'm trusted to work on some pretty important features on these ships. Most of my work is on the technical features, designing them to be more user-friendly. Computer systems like navigation, targeting, you name it. It may not be as glamorous as what Frank does, but without me, these ships would be almost impossible for the average consumer to actually use. See you around, I guess.
You know, I have designed spacecraft for over 10 years. So, you must have really impressed Walter for him to give you this project. Or maybe it's a bit of nepotism. Never mind that. Perhaps he sees in you what he sees in me. My hope is that he sees the passion in our work. In truth, I know he values me, but he has yet to truly cut me loose from the corporate reins and let me do as I wish. But I understand Walter has given you much greater control of our project. Perhaps I can learn from you and convince him I'm ready for the same. As a designer, I see the beauty in our craft and deliver that to the consumer. My desire is to make flying in our ships a joy to all the senses. I have won awards. I am proud of my work. But I do not like to brag. Rather, my goal is to change the board's perception of employees like myself from mere cogs in the corporate machine to value us as artists and let us do as we please. Ah, yes. At least you may be more open to my ideas than my colleagues. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Imagine a luxury craft designed for the most discerning of tastes. Every feature designed for comfort and peace of mind. High-end performance, precision engineering, a spacecraft for those who wish to be seen. This will be the most elite personal craft on the market. The ship should be mid-size, spacious but not bulky. We'll want to build it with the highest quality, most expensive modules available. It should feel safe but not threatening. Focus on defensive measures, not aggressive weaponry. Above all, you should be able to picture your favorite celebrity, or Walter himself, flying this ship and influencing others to buy as well. I'm sure such ideas have been featured in the top trade publications. Perhaps in Talentless Smart Asses Monthly? In fact, you've made me realize that your involvement makes it such that if this project fails, we can point to you as the problem. If anything, I should thank you. Two words. Conspicuous consumption. Are you familiar with this concept? Of course. Rich celebrity like Borealis buys shiny ship to show off. Idiot consumer sees Borealis use our ship, and idiot consumer wants one too. I hope that's simple enough for you. Because I am the lead designer on the project, it is literally my job to design it. It is frustrating because I keep getting pushback, and Jules has this idea that we will make a better product by designing it all together. Since everyone has equal say, it led us to a standstill. It was much easier before. Just because I do not like how corporate we have become, doesn't mean I don't like getting paid. Besides, with every successful ship I design, I believe I can influence the company to shift away from typical corporate bullshit and back to taking risks by pursuing art and innovation. Then again, here we are. See you.
Hi. Need something? Oh, no. It's just... I'm a little new here, and everyone's got these big, flashy designs. And I'm supposed to come up with one too, but like, I don't know if it's as good or like, good at all, even. Thank you for saying that, but, like, really? I don't know. Whatever. Here goes. So, I was thinking that we could really use a recreational craft in our fleet. But not like super luxurious like our Adonis pleasure yacht, something marketed more towards families. Something Mom and Dad could pack up and take the kids on vacation. You probably think that's stupid, right? I used to go off-world camping with my family when I was a kid. The other families we met always complained their ships weren't quite adequate for family vacations. They never had enough room, and the kids would always fight. I've done some market research, and no ship manufacturer seems to be making ships for things like this. Which means even if the demand is low, we can fill this niche and still sell a lot. I haven't thought of all the details, but I'd imagine lots of passenger space would be a top priority. A mid-sized ship with enough room for one, or maybe even 2 or 3 families to spread out and relax. I don't think it'd need any fancy weapons or scientific equipment, so it should be pretty affordable. Families don't want to spend a fortune, so keeping the cost low will help guarantee plenty of sales. Well, you listened to my idea more than the others did, so I'll take it as a good sign. Thanks. So far I do, but just between you and me, I feel like I'm in a little over my head. I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing, but my bosses really seem to like my work, so I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm doing something right. I still feel weird pitching ideas to people who have been at this for so much longer than I have. It's interesting. I knew, and I've never done anything like this before coming here. Marketing for ships, specifically, that is. There are so many things to think of for different demographics, like style, features, cost, and all that. And you also need to think about offensive and defensive capabilities, because space is dangerous and people need to feel like the ship they're buying is safe. Yeah, I've only been here for a few months. I did a little marketing for Chunks before this, but it was really more of an internship. Ships are totally different than that. I applied for the job here on a whim because I thought it'd be fun. I never expected to be hired.
I know. But she's been with us.
Catch you around.
Well, I do like the ships.
That data from your ship is going to be critical to our design process, assuming you can handle the missions. It might surprise you to hear that no, I have not. This is actually the first project I've led for Stroud Eklund. I recently graduated with a master's degree in engineering management. I'm actually kind of surprised they hired me, but I was at the top of my class, so maybe they didn't want to lose me to some other star yard. Anyway, I'm grateful for the chance to do good work here. it means I'm responsible for making sure our projects are carried through to completion. I'm not the one calling all the shots per se, but I do need to ensure the people making those calls are empowered to do that within the limits the executive set for us. Oh, yes, I actually do have a proposal. I wasn't really expecting you to give me feedback, but why not, I guess. I'd like to see us branch out a bit more in the starfighter market. Bounty hunting and mercenary work are both big these days, especially among the hard-blooded Freestars. I'm glad you brought that up. No, and yes, there's a lot of work out there that requires a capable fighting ship. But the real success comes from UC military contracts, which we would hope to attract by building a higher-end version of this ship platform for them. We'd want to give it strong weapons, tough defenses, plus good speed and maneuverability. Most starfighters are fairly small, and the tricky part is keeping costs down with all those fancy modules. Wonderful. Thank you. I'm hoping when the time comes, I'll be able to convince the others that's what we should go with. We'll talk later then.
I came out of curiosity. Some of these specs? Impressive.
Then you throw in Walter Stroud.
Still, to go from literally nothing to ships that
Welcome
give
to Stroud
time
Eglin.
run for its money.
Have you seen the specs on the arms?
salvage rights are yours. We got to resume our patrol. Stay safe.